All right, cheers.
Cheers. Ooh.
Nick Drinks.
Hey everyone, welcome to Nick Drinks. I'm your host, Nick Britsky, and we are here with a special guest. This is Mickey Lyons, who's the founder of Prohibition Detroit and cocktail historian.
Sure, yeah, Barchelogist works too.
Barchelogist,
Yeah.
That's great. And she is writing a story on the history of Rock and Rye. And so we're going to be trying really the most popular, which is Hochstadters.
Hochstadters?
Hochstadters.
Yeah, sure.
And that's done by Cooper Spirits. And just recently in Michigan, we got the launch of their little tiny cans. So we're both excited to try this out. Mickey, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here.
So tell me a little bit about Rock and Rye.
So Rock and Rye I had thought was originally a Prohibition Era cocktail because the story that I had heard was during the day it was really hard to get good quality whiskey, especially rye, which is a little hot to begin with.
Okay.
So if you want to make something taste palatable and you're starting with a base spirit that is really, really nasty and really raw, you add sugar to it.
Sure.
That's why we have a lot of soda companies that started during Prohibition as well, not only as an alternative to drinking liquor and hard spirits, but also to make a decent tasting cocktail.
So the rock in Rock and Rye is just rock sugar.
Rock candy, yeah,
candy,
like you made
okay.
in your science class project in 5th grade. Yeah.
Fascinating.
So it was basically you would make a whole bunch of rock candy, and you would put it in a big jug, and then you would fill that jug with your rot gut rye whiskey and let it sit for a while, and it would take on a slightly sweeter, more palatable flavor.
So would you consider this a liqueur?
It depends on the alcohol content. Some folks do bottle it as a liqueur. Some in Michigan, including, there used to be an Arrow liqueur company that made they made a Rock and Rye. It was also considered medicinal even before Prohibition. Right, exactly, right. You throw enough booze in it and it will kill anyone's cough for sure.
Right,
Yeah.
and many other things.
Yeah, right. So people would mix it with the rye, the rock candy, and then like horehound candy, or in Slow and Low's case, orange peels and honey. So it's essentially a room temperature toddy that is supposed to help your cold and flu and cough and all of that stuff.
You mentioned kind of the difference between liqueurs and more traditional liquors. This is high proof, especially in a teeny tiny can that is 84 proof.
Cute and dainty, and you expect it to be, you know, one of those cocktails that you get on an airplane that's, you know, vodka and lemon juice or something like this. And you open this up and I would imagine it's
Foolproof.
foolproof.
Yeah.
Full kick to it. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I poured some rye just so we can kind of taste this. And then you actually brought some old school syrup with you.
Yeah, so this is from, unfortunately, one of Detroit's old bars down in the Southwest in Delray called Kovacs Bar.
Okay.
They closed down a couple summers ago, and before they closed, they auctioned off a lot of their stuff. And I was able to talk the former owner into selling me this because it doesn't have any liquor in it, so they were allowed to.
Sure.
But it's a made in Detroit rock candy syrup, so it's what they would have used to make a Rock and Rye back in the day.
And it's a gum syrup too.
Gum syrup.
So you're going to get that viscosity.
Yeah. I'm afraid we can't open it because I just discovered bringing it over here. It's carbonated, and I don't want to blow your studio up.
No. Well, let's get it out pretty quick.
Yeah.
So that's great. And the great dark color on it too is fantastic. So this is a rye. So let's,
Cheers.
you've had rye before, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But we're getting that great spicy note. So ryes tend to feel higher proof to me. And maybe that's just because of the spicy notes.
Yeah.
Boy, that's rye.
Yeah, right.
That's some good rye.
There it is, right in the front of the nose. Yep. Got it.
And then so basically we're mixing this with sugar and we're done.
Well, in some cases, yeah. So, but in this case, so the way you made your Rock and Rye, the way you mixed it was sort of your proprietary secret.
Ooh.
So what you mixed it with.
Okay.
A lot of places used honey as a medicinal thing. Any kind of thing that you wanted to put into it, molasses, honey, fruits. Orange is really popular with this as well. So,
And I think that's what Hochstadters does. Is we were looking at this earlier, and this straight rye whiskey, raw honey, navel orange, rock candy, and bitters.
Bitters. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Interesting.
All right, well, hey, pop one open.
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Should we just drink it out of the can like heathens?
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe.
no.
Oh no, it's
no.
a peel bag.
Oh, okay, good. I thought mine was
first
broken.
note. How to open a Slow and Low.
That'll be a tip. How
That's
to
our
open a
first
can.
one. All right, cheers.
Cheers. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. So compared to the rye,
Neat.
which has that heat, that
Yeah.
sugar and the bitters and the navel orange all kind of cut that back down to make this super enjoyable.
Yeah, and it's nice to have a cocktail in a can that's not sugar. You know?
Or, I mean, a lot of them are wine-based or beer-based. I'm not saying those are terrible. We actually did a whole special on canned cocktails.
Yeah.
And this was our favorite by far.
Yeah.
So we had picked up some of these in Chicago, and so thank you guys for carrying on Michigan, because
Yeah.
these are great.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So being 84 proof, 4 of these is going to set you back about $19. So they're pricey.
Yeah.
But it's a full kick of booze.
Yeah.
Now, or on the other hand, the bottles, the full bottle of this is $7.50, is only like $24.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
very reasonable. So,
Quite
packaging.
a small size.
You're paying
yeah.
for packaging. All right, so you're working on the article. We're going to time it so
Yeah.
the article comes out at the same time.
Yeah.
What other little tidbits are we going to have in there?
So Detroit has a great history of rock and rye
Mm-hmm.
because, of course, Faygo.
So if anyone's outside of Michigan, what is Faygo?
Faygo is one of the oldest still existing soda pop, we call it pop, soda pop makers in the country. They're on the east side of Detroit, been around since around 1900.
And does it leave Michigan much? Unless you're a juggalo?
Unless you're a juggalo, no. My sister used to live in Arizona, and we used to ship her rock and rye and red pop. So no, I think I've seen it in Ohio, but that's about it.
So juggalo, which is
Insane clown.
Insane Clown Posse, thank you.
Yeah.
They are huge fans of Faygo because they're based in Michigan.
Right.
And so I believe when you go to their concert, if you're outside of Michigan, they probably import some in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they sure do. Yeah.
So, all right, so
yeah. So Faygo has a soda pop called Rock and Rye that they brought out during Prohibition.
Okay.
Became immensely popular. You know, they tried all sorts of different flavors, and there are still some really off the wall Faygo flavors. But compared to say this, you know, there's a similarity in the taste. They managed to get that spice and that pop and the heat a little bit. So, you know, I'm really interested in how it became specifically a Detroit thing of rock and rye. But the cocktail rock and rye, which has a lot of versatility, and you see bartenders getting excited to play around with it because of all of the different kinds of bitters and flavorings that you can add. You know, you don't see it as much as I think I might have expected.
and I've never ordered it straight.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just because I want to see something cool, but I feel like, yeah, bartenders do make some cool cocktails out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, where can people find more information about you?
ProhibitionDetroit.com, as well as Prohibition Detroit on Twitter and on Facebook.
And talk about the event you throw every year.
Oh, Repeal Day Party. Yeah, I actually started researching the Rock and Rye for the annual Repeal Day Party.
Okay.
Changes locations, but it's always on December 5th to celebrate the repeal of national prohibition.
Well, Mickey, thank you so much.
All right.
Cheers.
Nick.
And if you want more of Nick Drinks, you can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram at nickdrinks.com, spelled out. And we have all sorts of great stuff. So if you have any questions, leave them below. Otherwise, keep drinking, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers.
And we have the 100th anniversary coming up in a couple years.
33.
33 years away.
Yeah. No, in 2033.
So we have plenty of time to plan
So we
for
got a
that.
bit of time, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
2020 is the
The start.
anniversary of the start of national prohibition.
Ugh, okay.
Yeah, I know. We're going to have a party there, too.